Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Jeff and today we are going to have some fun playing Magic. And the fun thing that we are trying to do today is we're playing a deck that I am calling Anointed KARNstructs. So Karn, Scion of Urza, is a legendary planeswalker which with his tick up ability can reveal two cards and you get the whichever one the opponent says you can. And then on the neg 1 you can go get the other card that the opponent said that you couldn't have on the next turn. And then his neg 2 ability is the real one that we're trying to do, really play around with here. And it's create a 0/0 colors construct artifact creature token. And with this creature, it gets 1/1 for each artifact you control. So we're thinking about playing this in the Anointed Procession deck with Hidden Stockpile, creating tons of servos, which are all artifacts, as well as playing servo expeditions and a bunch of different things that create servos as well as make them bigger. And our real big finisher here is the appeal to authority. So it says whenever until end of turn, target creature gains trample and gets +X/+X, where X is the number of creatures you control. So we're playing that with Sram's expertise, hopefully bringing down a Benalish Marshal as well to make all of our servos bigger so we can close out the game a few different ways. So we're playing a little bit more of an aggressive version of this deck, but super fun. We also have Vraska Relic Seeker as kind of a finisher in the late game, as well as just ways to kind of manage board state as well as build up on our own whenever we need to. So super fun deck. I'm excited to get into it and let's see how the games go. Here we go. Alright, so one real quick change before the game started. I decided to add 2 treasure maps in here, especially with everything with Karn. I thought I had thrown them in and just had forgotten them. So I took down 1 Fumigate, 1 Appeal to add in 2 more treasure maps. And here we go. Alright, so here we are in Arena Standard, and we are playing Anointed KARNstructs. And this deck is super fun. I'm really excited to see if we can do well here on camera. And this actually looks like a pretty good start here. So we have servos, and we have a Benalish Marshal that we can play, as well as Fatal Push. So we'll keep this. A lot of removal is actually good for us early game, because then we can usually win the late game. So Dauntless Bodyguard is not bad. Concealed Courtyard and Land is actually pretty good. I don't want to spend the Fatal Push on the Bodyguard just yet, so we'll pass the turn. And we can maybe play it in response to another Bodyguard or something like that. So they're going to go attacking. We are willing to take 2 here. We take 2 down to 18. Opponent plays a Plains and plays Idento Vanguard. Alright, so we are going to let that resolve. Come down, and I'm actually going to go ahead and Fatal Push the Vanguard, expecting them to keep it. And then when we play the Servo Expedition next turn, hopefully they won't be able to attack in for fear of taking 4 more damage. So we're going to go ahead and try to get 4 points of damage right here. Alright, so he pressed end turn, so he actually missed his trigger there, I believe. So that was pretty good. Alright, so Plains into Servo Expedition. And we'll pass the turn. Opponent plays a Plains. Opponent is playing Benalish Marshal. Alright. So they're going to swing in here, and I think I am actually okay trading here for the Bodyguard. And we can match this Benalish Marshal right here. So we'll play Benalish Marshal, get it down, and if they start going crazy, like getting a lot of stuff, we'll probably just hold up to Settle the Wreckage instead of playing Anointed Procession. Alright, so he's going to swing in with Benalish Marshal. And I'm kind of assuming he might have some kind of response here. So we don't have anything in hand right now that helps us, so we're going to go ahead and take the block. Try to trade here. Alright, so he does give him Pride of the Conquerors, kills our Benalish Marshal, plays Knight of Grace, and then next turn we can Settle the Wreckage. So we're going to play Plains and pass the turn. And then hopefully as they go attacking we can settle, get rid of 2 of their best things against us. Alright, so they swing in, we will play Settle the Wreckage. I probably could have gone to damage step to see if they played another Pride of the Conquerors or something like that. But now we have a way to create some servos. What we're really looking for is a Hidden Stockpile. Alright, so no Hidden Stockpile. We will just go ahead and play Anointed Procession and pass the turn. They play History of Benalia. So now we're looking for like a Fumigate or something that we can do. Yeah, Squire's Devotion, they're going to start going crazy here. We should have put that onto, I guess Danitha wouldn't have gained the extra lifelink there. Alright, so Heroic Intervention, we don't have green mana here. So Servo, we can create blockers for everything. So let's go ahead and do that. So play Servos, we have 4 blockers now. So we can trade with this knight, which might be worthwhile, or we can chump block. Alright, so the swinging in with these two, we know they don't have cards in hand. We can kill this knight and trade here, so we will definitely trade for 1 here. And we are going to block, and I think that we go ahead and triple block, and we just have to hope for a good draw here then. I mean, they have not a very fast clock, but not very slow either. So we have 4 turns to really draw into something better, but we take 1 knight off the board. They do swing in for 8 next turn, actually, with these two. So Anointed Procession, not exactly what we're looking for, but that'll help us if we draw into pretty much anything else. An Angel of Invention would be amazing here. So they swing in for 8. And now they have a 2-turn clock. Alright, land is not what we need here, so pass the turn, and we just have to hope they don't have Pride of the Conquerors. History Benalia doesn't... Oh, we still have 1 more turn, so now I think we have to find either a way to create lots of tokens. Right, Sram's Expertise does create tokens, so we can play Sram's Expertise. We are not going to play the Heroic Intervention here, so pass the turn. So now we have 12 blockers. So now we are in fairly good shape. We could trade off some of them. Alright, so now they have some Double Strikers as well. Alright, so first off, we're going to go ahead and trade with these knights. Now we could block, we could use the rest to block the rest here. So they're double striking. So we could put 4 on each of them to kill them, but I think that we have to save blockers for the next turn just in case. So we're going to block like that, kill 2 of the knights, have blockers for next turn. Alright, so knights are dead. Land doesn't do it. Actually, land isn't terrible here either. So we're going to play Sunpetal Grove. So now we have a Heroic Intervention for next turn. So now we pass the turn. So they all get really big. So we can't quite kill any of one of them this turn. Or we can actually. So we go to block. We put 1 on Danitha, 1 on Knight, 1 on Knight of Grace, and 1 here, and now we double block, I think, Danitha. Let's see. Now, which one do we want to kill? So we can kill one of these 3. And I'm thinking that the best one to kill is actually the Double Striker. So now we play Heroic Intervention, so we get to keep everything, killing one of their guys. And so we bought ourselves another turn. Sunpetal Groves is absolutely terrible here. Oh my goodness. So we just go to pass the turn. We're going to keep it in hand. Maybe they'll hold back thinking of Settle the Wreckage. But otherwise, I mean, we're just going to block and kill the 2/2 knight maybe. Alright, so swinging all in again. So we block 1, block 2, double block here. This might be a Pride of the Conquerors, so let's go ahead and... Actually, getting blown out is worse there. We have to draw into something worthwhile on this next turn, so we'll kill a knight. They go up to 44. So we do have ways out of this. Vraska's Contempt is one of those ways out of this. So... we can't hit the Knight of Grace, but so we play... I think we still hold on to the Sunpetal Grove. And we pass the turn. So the Andanto Vanguard comes down. We go to combat, they attack with both. we are going to play Vraska's Contempt on the Danitha. So we go up to 4, so we're going to block 1 here. Just to protect our life total a little bit more. This way, even if they swing in and hit us next turn, we're still alive. We'll have to block the Vanguard in case of Pride of the Conquerors. They have another Danitha. Okay, Servo Expedition saves us there. Awesome. So now we go back to 12. Or sorry, 8 tokens there. And so now we just pass the turn again. And so now we can actually kill the Knight of Grace and Danitha. They don't have double strike now, so they'll only be able to kill 2 of them. So Vanguard comes in. We're going to block 1, and we're hoping they don't have a way to give him trample. I don't think there is with white, so 1 blocker. He'll pay 4. We're fine with that. Alright, so then Angel of Invention is fantastic here. So now we play Angel of Invention. We will fabricate, creating servos. And now we have some servos to be swinging back with. So we can swing for 16 right now. They will be gaining 2 back and killing some of our stuff. It's a possible settle the wreckage here. We're going to go ahead and wait 1 more turn, pass the turn, and that way we can swing in. Alright, so Appeal to Authority is fantastic here. So what we can do is actually tap down the Knight of Grace and Danitha so that we keep these alive. We'll hold back 1 or 2 of them. So we'll play Appeal on a Servo. We could gain a ton of life back with the Angel, but I'm kind of worried about a Settle the Wreckage here. We are going to Authority, Danitha, and Knight of Grace. So they definitely could have a Settle the Wreckage here. So we are going to swing in. We're going to press all attack and then hold back a few. Alright, so yeah, opponent scoops it up. So they didn't have an answer for the Appeal to Authority. And yeah, there we go. Awesome. Alright, so here we are with Anointed KARNstructs in MTG Arena Standard. And oh my goodness, this deck is super fun when it goes off. I've not been drawing the best of hands recently, but this one we will definitely keep. This doesn't look too bad. It's kind of slow lands. We can play Isolated Chapel into Forest and then Sunpetal Grove. Get servos and seal away. Yeah, so I think we keep this. We're going to try to hold on to the servos until we can create 4 of them instead. I think that's just a little bit more powerful. So Isolated Chapel goes first. They play Swamp and pass the turn. We draw Appeal, which will do nothing. We will pass the turn. And we're hoping they don't have a Duress. So opponent seems to be playing slow as well. Alright, Fumigate can be good here. So we're going to play Sunpetal Groves, and we're just going to pass the turn as well. If they're not playing anything, we are fine not using our servos just yet. Opponent plays Arcane Encyclopedia. Passes to my turn. Okay, another Appeal doesn't do much until we actually get stuff down. So let's play Anointed Procession and pass the turn. Opponent plays Primal Amulet. So this is a Torment of Hellfire deck, which is actually good for us. Like, we do fairly well against that kind of deck. We are going to play Servo Exhibition, create some servos, and then pass the turn. Opponent plays Golden Demise, kills all of our stuff, creates a token there. And yeah, we have to let this resolve, unfortunately. We draw into another Anointed Procession, so that's pretty good. We will play that down and pass the turn. Opponent plays Swamp. Opponent probably has a ton of removal in hand and won't really be able to play it, or they have a Herald of English, which is really good. So we discard a card. We will discard Appeal to Authority. We draw into another Anointed Procession. So I think what we do is we're fine taking 5 here to get down another Anointed Procession, and then we seal away the next turn. So if we ever get servos, we are going to be creating a massive board. So we're just hoping that that finally happens. Opponent goes digging with drawing a card. I think they're trying to find their Torment of Hellfire. They play Live Fast, draw 2 cards, putting more counters onto the Primal Amulet. They're up to 2 now. An opponent didn't swing in with Herald of Anguish. So we are going to go ahead and discard, I think we discard another Appeal to Authority. So we no longer have those. We can tap them down, but Swamp is good, and I think we just go ahead and fire off the Fumigate. Doesn't do a ton for us here, but we will fire off the Fumigate. I don't think this deck plays many creatures, so that's probably going to be our best use for it. Opponent plays a Swamp. Now they have tons of mana. Opponent plays a Meteor Golem, and they get to destroy one of our Anointed Processions. Goes to our turn. We draw an Angel of Invention, which is pretty good here. So we will play the Angel of Invention. We will create Servos. Unfortunately, we don't get to create as many now, but we get to create 8 2/2s. So, I mean, we pretty much have the game next turn with these authorities. We actually have Exaxes as is. So we go to end step. Let's see if they have a cast down. They do not. Opponent taps for 6. Plays another Primal Amulet, which doesn't tick up the other one. So we're actually in fairly good shape here. We have the game next turn if they don't have an answer for us. Alright, so they do have Walk the Plank. Okay. So now they're getting counters onto the amulets and pass the turn. Alright, so now we have Vraska Relic Seeker, which I think we're just going to go ahead and play the Relic Seeker. And we are going to tick down on the Primal Amulet that's about to go off here. So now we neg 3 on this amulet here. We're going to create quite a few treasures. So we will have a Silhouette available if they have another Golden Demise. Alright, so they're going to cast down, and they do get to flip it here, unfortunately. And I'm not sure if I still get to destroy this. I don't. Okay. So unfortunately, I didn't get to flip that. They did have something else there for us. So next turn, we just start ticking up. And so we're going to go no attackers for this turn. Next turn, we start ticking up with Vraska, and if they do have a Torment of Hellfire in hand, I believe we can survive it for 1 turn. They play Arcane Encyclopedia, and we are actually in fairly good shape here against this deck, as long as they don't have a Golden Demise into a Torment of Hellfire. Alright, so they do tap down the Primal Wellspring. They play Vraska's Contempt ×2, so now we do lose the Vraska, unfortunately. They will be gaining 4 life. And this gives me hope that they don't have a Torment of Hellfire just yet. They are digging for it. There are other Primal Amulets up to 3, so if they do get a Torment of Hellfire, it's going to be massive. They play Walk the Plank. To flip over the other Primal Wellspring. And then they play Twilight Prophet. Alright, so they are in fairly good shape here. They can draw a couple cards each turn. We just keep drawing Anointed Processions, which isn't terrible, but not what we're needing. So we're going to pass the turn, and hopefully we can get this Twilight Prophet off the board next turn. We would have been able to come back pretty well next turn if they didn't have an answer for the Vraska, which they did, so it goes. Alright, so they are drawing a card. They will eventually run into this Torment of Hellfire. We are hoping that they don't have too many of them. They didn't draw into it that turn. They swing in for 2. We are going to go ahead and Silhouette to try to make sure they don't get to kill us off the draws. And that's the last card in hand. We do have the Authority, so we can tap down and start swinging for 5. Which, if we draw nothing... Alright, so Hidden Stockpile is actually really, really nice here. So Hidden Stockpile comes down. We are going to go swinging. Okay, so they block 1. We need to scry here, so we're going to go ahead and pay 1... Scry, destroying the blocked creature. or sacrificing him. So now we need to draw into something good here. Settle the Wreckage isn't what we're looking for. So we put that to the bottom. We swing in for 4, go to damage step, and then on their end step, we can sacrifice some of these tapped ones to scry for some more. We may keep them up, actually. We'll see here. We don't have that many more turns. If they draw into Torment of Hellfire, we're in... I think with the double Primal Wellspring, we won't be able to survive it. Alright, so they draw a card with Arcane Encyclopedia. They go to combat, so they lose out on the mana there, so we know they didn't draw into it just yet. So it goes to my turn, and I think that we will pay 1 more just to make sure we get a good scry here. It slows down our clock a tiny bit, but I think it's worthwhile for us to get a good scry. So we are glad to put another Settle the Wreckage to the bottom. As of right now, we have a 2-turn clock as is, so I think actually we're gonna scry 1 more. Sacrifice again, scry, hope for something better than a Settle the Wreckage. We know we only have 2 of those. Sunpetal Grove has to go to the bottom. Oh my goodness. And I think that we go ahead and go to my turn because we have a 2-turn... Ooh. Alright. So, yeah, here we go. So Karn comes down. We are going to create some Karnstructs. We are going to tick down, and they each become 14 14s. Oh, sorry, excuse me, 18 18s because we create 8 of them. We go to combat, and we have the game next turn if they don't have a way to wipe the board here. So they might be able to Vraska's Contempt. Alright, so they have another Vraska's Contempt. They get a couple of triggers with it, so they get to create 3 triggers. So we'll still have 6 of these guys. Alright, so we lose 2 Karnstructs and 1 Karn. We go to combat and we swing all in. They go up to 24, unfortunately. All attack, 10 attackers. And creating servos is fantastic against the Torment of Hellfire here. So we are going to pay 1. Sacrifice our servo. Scry and see what we have on top. We're hoping for another Karn. Another Hidden Stockpile is just as good. So yeah, we'll definitely keep that on top. We'll go to damage. Do 9 points of damage to them. Bring them down to 15 and pass the turn. So at the end step, we create 8 more Karns, or 8 more servos and pass the turn. So now, I think they still might get us with a Torment of Hellfire, but we have a way to get out of it pretty easily. 1 hit with one of these Karnstructs kills them as well. So they have to go all out on this turn, I believe. So we'll let that resolve. And opponent is saying good game. So they didn't draw into the Torment of Hellfire. So, oh my goodness, what a fantastic game. So opponent got really unlucky there not drawing into the Torment of Hellfire. They drew pretty much half of their deck. And I'm wondering if they are also playing the tutor, the 4-mana tutor as well. But either way, our deck played really well. We came back from pretty bad situations. And yeah, you guys got to see the Karnstructs come down. That was, oh man, that's so fun. Yeah. All right, so there you guys have it with Anointed KARNstructs. Let me know what you think of the deck down below. Maybe some changes that you would make. But overall, I really loved. We finally got a Karn on that very last game there, and brought down 8. They ended up being 23 23s, each of the Karnstructs there. And yeah, that was super fun. You can see if we do get it to go off, so like the main thing is we have to hit Hidden Stockpile, have to hit Anointed Procession. And Karn works so well with that because if we don't have those out yet, we can tick up for him. If we have one of them out, we can tick down and get some triggers going. Karn works so well with that combo, and I wanted to play it before it cycles out. So it cycles out soon, and Karn is just the perfect card for that. And oh my goodness, that was so much fun. I'm glad you guys were here to see it, and I hope you enjoyed the deck. If you did, please give me a like. If you didn't, too bad. Just give me a like anyway, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye bye.